The trap springs, the research vessel Harmony's Dream, drifted silently through the Kepler Nebula, its sensors scanning the ancient ruins below on the dead planet of Xerion Prime. Captain Lyra Voss stood on the bridge, her translucent blue skin glowing softly in the dim light. The Velari were known throughout the galaxy as peaceful explorers and scientists, never carrying weapons and always seeking knowledge rather than conquest. "Captain, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the temple complex," reported Dr. Cale Thorne, the mission's lead archaeologist. His 4 eyes sparkled with excitement behind his protective goggles. "These readings suggest technology that predates known galactic civilization by millions of years." Lyra nodded, feeling the familiar thrill of discovery. The Velari had spent centuries cataloging ancient sites across the galaxy, preserving knowledge that might otherwise be lost forever. Their ship carried the most advanced scanning equipment available, but no shield stronger than basic meteorite protection, and certainly no weapons of any kind. "How long do we need to complete the survey?" she asked her science officer, Commander Zara Moonwhisper. "At least 8 more hours to properly document everything," Zara replied, her silver hair flowing as she moved between control panels. "The quantum resonance patterns are unlike anything in our databases. This could revolutionize our understanding of the galaxy's earliest civilizations." The 15-member crew worked with quiet efficiency, each scientist focused on their particular area of expertise. Some monitored the atmospheric processors that allowed them to breathe while exploring the ruins. Others analyzed mineral samples brought up from the planet's surface. The bridge hummed with the gentle sounds of scientific equipment and whispered conversations in the melodic Velari language. Dr. Thorne looked up from his station suddenly, his expression changing from excitement to concern. "Captain, I'm detecting massive hyperspace distortions approaching our position. Multiple large vessels dropping out of faster-than-light travel." Lyra's blood grew cold. They were in a remote sector, far from any major shipping lanes. No legitimate vessels should be traveling through this area. How many ships? 8 contacts, all registering as heavy cruiser class or larger, Thorne reported, his voice tight with worry. "They're moving in formation directly toward our position." The main view screen flickered to life, showing the approaching vessels. They were unlike anything in the Velari databases. Massive, angular ships covered in weapon ports and armor plating. Dark metal hulls absorbed light rather than reflecting it, making them appear like hungry shadows against the stars. "By the eternal void," whispered Commander Moonwhisper, "those are Korath warships." Every member of the crew felt terror grip their hearts. The Korath were legendary throughout the galaxy as the most ruthless raiders and slavers ever encountered. They swept through star systems like a plague, taking whatever they wanted and destroying everything else. No one knew exactly where they came from, only that they had been terrorizing the galaxy for over 1,000 years. "Captain," called out Navigator Finn Starseeker, "we need to leave immediately. The Korath don't take prisoners. They take slaves." Lyra's mind raced as she considered their options. The Harmony's Dream was built for exploration, not speed. Its engines were designed for efficiency during long voyages, not rapid escape. The approaching Korath fleet would catch them long before they could reach the edge of the system. "Set course for the asteroid field near the 4th planet," she ordered. "If we can reach it before they intercept us, we might be able to hide among the rocks." The ship's engines roared to life, pushing the vessel toward the distant cluster of asteroids. Behind them, the Korath ships spread out in a hunting formation, their sensors sweeping space for any sign of prey. War Chief Grosvenor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Blood Reaper. His massive frame towered over his bridge crew, cruel, yellow eyes scanning the tactical display. The Korath were humanoid, but larger and more muscular than most species, with thick gray skin covered in natural armor plates and razor-sharp claws. Their culture revolved around strength, conquest, and the accumulation of power. "A research vessel," he growled, his voice like grinding stone. "Pathetic Velari scientists playing with ancient toys. Their ship will make a fine addition to our fleet, and the crew will fetch good prices at the slave markets." His weapons officer, a scarred female named Krex, bared her fangs in anticipation. "Shall the first target their engines, War Chief?" "No," Grokner replied. "Let them run. The hunt is more enjoyable when the prey thinks it has a chance to escape." The Harmony's Dream reached the asteroid field just as the Korath ships entered weapons. Range. Captain Voss guided her vessel deep into the maze of floating rocks, using the ship's superior maneuverability to navigate passages too narrow for the larger warships to follow. "We're safe for now," reported Thorne. "The asteroids are blocking their sensor sweeps, and they can't risk following us in with ships that size." But Lyra knew their safety was temporary. The Korath were patient hunters, and they had all the time in the galaxy. "They'll position their ships around the field and wait for us to come out. We can't hide here forever." The crew worked frantically to find a solution. Some tried to boost their communication array to send a distress signal, but the nearest Velari outpost was weeks away. Others attempted to mask their heat signature or find a way to slip past the blockade undetected. Hours passed with no success. The Korath ships maintained their positions around the asteroid field, like patient predators, waiting for their prey to make a mistake. Their sensors probed constantly, searching for any sign of the hidden research vessel. "Captain," Dr. Thorne said quietly, "they're launching smaller ships. Hunter-killer vessels designed to search inside the asteroid field." On the view screen, dozens of smaller Korath ships emerged from the larger vessels. These were built for speed and agility, able to navigate the treacherous asteroid field while still carrying enough firepower to destroy the Harmony's Dream. "They're systematic," observed Commander Moonwhisper. "Each search ship is taking a different section of the field. They'll find us within hours." The crew watched in growing despair as the hunter-killer ships began their methodical search. The asteroids that had seemed like salvation now felt like a trap. They were caught between the searching ships and the waiting fleet, with no way to escape. "Perhaps we should surrender," suggested the ship's medical officer, Dr. Neera Gentlehand. "If we offer no resistance, they might show mercy." "The Korath don't show mercy," Lyra replied grimly. "They take what they want and destroy the rest. At best, we'd spend the rest of our lives as slaves. At worst, ... She didn't need to finish the sentence. Young Ensign Tor Brightstar, barely, out of the academy, spoke up with a trembling voice. "Captain, what about the escape pods? Some of us might make it to the planet's surface." "The planet is airless and dead," Zara replied gently. "The pods only have life support for a few days. We'd be trading a quick death for a slow one." As if summoned by their despair, one of the Korath hunter-killer ships appeared on their sensors, moving directly toward their hiding spot behind a large asteroid. The crew held their breath as the enemy vessel passed within mere kilometers of their position. "They're getting closer," Thorne whispered. "The next search pattern will bring them right to us." Captain Voss closed her eyes and reached out with her mind, trying to find some solution they had overlooked. The Velari were naturally telepathic, able to share thoughts and emotions with their own kind. Right now, she felt the fear and desperation of her entire crew like a weight on her soul. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I failed you all. I should have detected the threat sooner, should have had a better escape plan." "No, Captain," Dr. Thorne said firmly. "You've done everything possible. We all knew the risks when we chose to explore the galaxy's mysteries." The Korath search ships continued their methodical hunt, growing closer with each passing minute. On the Blood Reaper, War Chief Grokner watched the search with satisfaction. He had conducted hundreds of these hunts over the years, and they always ended the same way. The prey would be found, captured, and enslaved or killed according to his whims. Asterisk. The human gambit captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the Wanderer's Hope, studying the tactical display with calm, calculating eyes. The human ship was a modified cargo vessel, built tough and practical, like most human engineering. Elena herself was tall and lean, with short brown hair and scars on her hands that spoke of years working with machinery and weapons. She had served in the Earth Defense Force during the colonial expansion wars before becoming an independent trader. "Captain," said her engineer, Marcus Chun, "I'm reading 8 large warships in formation around an asteroid field. Configuration matches Korath design from the database." Elena nodded grimly. She had been tracking this particular Korath fleet for 3 weeks, ever since they had attacked a human mining colony on the border worlds. The attack had been swift and brutal, leaving 200 colonists dead and taking another 50 as slaves. The Galactic authorities had done nothing, claiming the colony was outside their jurisdiction. "Any sign of their target?" she asked. "There's a research vessel hiding in the asteroid field," replied her sensor operator, Jenny Park. "Looks like Velari design. The Korath are conducting a systematic search." Elena had studied the Korath for years. They were predictable in their methods, always using overwhelming force and following the same tactical patterns. They were also arrogant, believing themselves superior to all other species. This made them dangerous, but also vulnerable to unconventional tactics. "Time until they find the research vessel?" she asked. "Based on their current search pattern, maybe 2 hours," Marcus replied. Helena considered her options. The Wanderer's Hope was armed, but it was no match for 8 Korath warships in a direct confrontation. However, Elena had not survived 5 years of independent trading in the galaxy's most dangerous sectors by fighting fair battles. "Jenny, open a channel to the Korath flagship," she ordered. "Captain, are you sure about this?" Marcus asked with concern. "They'll know we're here." "They already know," Elena replied. "The question is whether they think we're a threat or just another victim." The view screen flickered to life, showing the bridge of the Blood Reaper. War Chief Grokner's massive form filled the screen, his yellow eyes glowing with predatory interest. When he saw Elena, his expression shifted to one of amusement. "A human female," he growled. "How delightfully unexpected. I am War Chief Grokner of the Korath Empire. You have entered my hunting ground, little human. Surrender your vessel and you will die quickly." Elena smiled coldly. "I'm Captain Elena Rodriguez of the Wanderer's Hope. I'm here to collect what you stole from Kepler Station." Grokner's amusement deepened. "Kepler Station? That pathetic human outpost? We took what we wanted and left the rest as space debris. If you're here for revenge, you've come to the wrong place with the wrong ship." "I'm here for the colonists you took as slaves," Elena replied. "Return them, and I'll consider letting you leave this system alive." The Korath bridge erupted in laughter. Grokner's officers found the humans' audacity hilarious. A single cargo ship threatening an entire fleet was beyond ridiculous. "You humans truly are as primitive as the reports suggest," Grokner said, wiping tears from his eyes. "Very well, little human. I'll give you a choice. Surrender now, and I'll sell you to the pleasure houses instead of the gladiator pits. Refuse, and I'll make your death as painful as possible." "Counter-offer," Elena said, her voice still calm. "You have 10 minutes to release the human prisoners and withdraw from this system. After that, I stop being polite." Grokner's expression darkened. "You dare threaten me? I have 8 warships and over 2,000 warriors. You have 1 pathetic cargo hauler and what? A crew of 5? 3, Elena corrected. "But we're human." That makes us more dangerous than your entire fleet. The transmission ended, leaving the Korath bridge in stunned silence. Grokner turned to his weapons officer. Target that human ship. I want it disabled, not destroyed. I'm going to enjoy making that arrogant female pay for her insolence. On the Wanderer's Hope, Alana's crew prepared for battle. Marcus armed the ship's weapon systems, while Jenny began implementing the plan they had rehearsed dozens of times. The human ship was equipped with experimental technology that the rest of the galaxy had never seen, developed in secret by Earth's military scientists. Jenny, activate the stealth matrix, Elena ordered. Marcus, prepare the kinetic harpoons. The Wanderer's Hope seemed to fade from existence as its advanced stealth systems engaged. The ship didn't become invisible, but it became almost impossible to track with conventional sensors. The technology was based on human understanding of quantum mechanics and electromagnetic theory, far beyond what most alien species had achieved. Where did it go? Demanded Grokner as his sensors lost track of the human ship. Unknown, War Chief, replied his sensor operator. It was there one moment and gone the next. Elena guided her ship toward the asteroid field, using the same passages the Korath hunter-killer ships were using in their search. The Wanderer's Hope was smaller and more maneuverable than the Korath vessels, allowing it to navigate the treacherous maze of floating rocks with ease. Hidden in the asteroid field, the crew of the Harmony's Dream watched in amazement as the human ship seemed to vanish from their sensors. Captain Voss had never seen technology like this before. How are they doing that? Whispered Dr. Thorne. I don't know, Lyra replied, but they're moving into the asteroid field. They're trying to help us. Elena found her first target quickly. A Korath hunter-killer ship was methodically searching a cluster of asteroids. Its crew focused on finding the hidden research vessel. The ship's sensors were designed to detect energy signatures and heat sources, not the unique stealth technology of the Wanderer's Hope. Target acquired, Elena announced, firing kinetic harpoons. The Wanderer's Hope's weapons were based on a simple but effective principle. Instead of energy beams or missiles, they fired solid metal projectiles at incredible velocity, using electromagnetic acceleration. The projectiles were cheap to manufacture and nearly impossible to stop once fired. The first harpoon struck the Korath ship amidships, punching through its armor like it was paper. The second harpoon hit the engine section, causing a massive explosion that tore the ship apart. The hunter-killer vessel died without even knowing it was under attack. Asterisk. One down, Elena muttered, already moving toward the next target. On the Blood Reaper, alarms began sounding as the flagship detected the destruction of one of its scout ships. Grokner roared in fury as he realized the human ship was somehow hunting his hunters. All ships close formation. He commanded, saturate the asteroid field with weapon fire. Destroy everything that moves. The Korath warships began pouring energy beams into the asteroid field, turning rocks into glowing debris. The display was impressive, but ineffective. Elena had anticipated this response and was already moving to exploit it. Marcus, begin phase 2, she ordered. The Wanderer's Hope positioned itself behind a large asteroid that was about to be destroyed by Korath weapons fire. As the energy beams struck the rock, Elena activated her ship's experimental energy absorption system. The human vessel seemed to drink in the destructive force, converting it into power for its own systems. Energy reserves at 150% capacity, Marcus reported. All systems running hot. Elena smiled grimly. The Korath had just given her exactly what she needed. The Wanderer's Hope shot out from behind the disintegrating asteroid, moving faster than any ship its size should have been able to move. The second hunter-killer ship barely had time to register the human vessel's approach before Elena's weapons tore it apart. The kinetic harpoons, supercharged with energy absorbed from the Korath attack, struck with devastating force. "Two down," Elena announced. Grokner watched in disbelief as another of his ships was destroyed. The human vessel was moving through his formation like a ghost, striking without warning and vanishing again before his ships could respond. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Humans are supposed to be primitive." His tactical officer, a veteran of 100 battles, studied the engagement with growing respect. "War Chief, this human fights like no opponent we've ever faced. She's using our own weapons against us and turning our advantages into weaknesses." Elena continued her deadly dance through the asteroid field, picking off the Korath hunter-killer. Ships one by one. Each attack was perfectly timed and positioned, using the floating rocks as cover and the enemy's own weapons as power sources. The crew of the Harmony's Dream watched in amazement as the lone human ship systematically destroyed half the Korath search fleet. Captain Voss had never seen anything like it. "She's incredible," Dr. Thorne whispered. "One ship against an entire fleet, and she's winning." "Humans don't fight like any other species," Commander Moon Whisper observed. "They see possibilities where others see only obstacles." Elena's voice came over the communication channel, directed at the remaining Korath. "Ships, you have 5 minutes to release the human prisoners and withdraw. I've been patient so far, but my patience is running out." Grokner's response was predictable. "You think destroying a few scout ships makes you a threat? I still have 5 warships, human. More than enough to crush you." "Then you've learned." "Nothing," Elena replied. "Jenny, it's time to show them what human engineering can really do." The Wanderer's Hope emerged from the asteroid field, its stealth systems deactivated. The ship was glowing with absorbed energy, its hull plates radiating heat like a star. Elena had been holding back, using only a fraction of her ship's true capabilities. "All ships target that human vessel," Grokner commanded. "Maximum firepower." The 5 remaining Korath warships opened fire simultaneously, sending a devastating barrage of energy beams and plasma missiles toward the Wanderer's Hope. Any normal ship would have been vaporized instantly. Instead, Elena did something that defied every tactical manual in the galaxy. She flew directly into the incoming fire, her ship's energy absorption system working at maximum capacity. The Wanderer's Hope seemed to grow brighter as it absorbed the destructive force, converting it into pure speed and power. "Impossible," Grokner breathed. Elena's ship emerged from the energy barrage moving at tremendous velocity, its weapons charged beyond normal capacity. She targeted the nearest Korath warship and fired everything she had. The kinetic harpoons struck with the force of small asteroids, punching through armor, shields, and hull plating like they were made of tissue paper. The Korath warship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, its reactor core breached by the devastating impact. 3 ships down, Elena announced calmly. "War Chief Grokner, you're running out of vessels. Last chance to surrender." But Grokner was beyond reason now. The human had humiliated him, destroyed his ships, and made him look weak in front of his crew. There could be no surrender, no retreat, only victory or death. All remaining ships ramming speed. He roared, "We'll crush her with our bare hulls." The 4 surviving Korath warships charged toward the Wanderer's Hope, their massive bulks moving with surprising speed. Elena watched them approach with the same calm expression she had worn throughout the battle. "Marcus, prepare the final protocol," she ordered. "Are you sure, Captain?" Marcus asked. "We've never tested it at this power level." "There's a first time for everything," Elena replied. The Wanderer's Hope began to change. Panels on its hull slid open, revealing arrays of devices that looked like nothing in any alien database. The ship's energy absorption system reversed, releasing all the power it had gathered in a controlled burst. The effect was spectacular. The human ship seemed to split into multiple images, each one moving in a different direction. The Korath ships found themselves facing not one target, but dozens, each one as solid and dangerous as the original. Holographic. Multiplication, Elena explained over the communication channel. Human technology at its finest. We don't just think outside the box, War Chief. We redesign the box entirely. The Korath ships fired desperately at the multiple targets, but their weapons passed harmlessly through most of the images. Meanwhile, the real Wanderer's Hope moved among them like a predator among prey, its weapons finding their marks with deadly precision. 2 more Korath warships exploded in rapid succession, their hulls torn apart by kinetic harpoons fired from impossible angles. Grokner's flagship and 1 escort vessel were all that remained of his once mighty fleet. Surrender now, Elena. Broadcast, and I'll let you leave with your lives. Continue fighting, and I'll add your ship to the wreckage. For the first time in his career, War Chief Grokner felt something he had never experienced before. Fear. This single human had destroyed 7 of his 8 ships using tactics and technology he couldn't comprehend. Her vessel should have been destroyed a dozen times over, yet it continued to fight with impossible effectiveness. War Chief, his tactical officer said quietly, we should withdraw. This human has proven that our intelligence about their species was completely wrong. Grokner looked around his bridge at the faces of his crew. They were afraid, demoralized, defeated. The legendary Korath war machine had been humbled by a single human ship. Very well, he said, his voice bitter with defeat. Release the human prisoners. We withdraw. Elena watched as escape pods launched from the Korath flagship, carrying the 50 human colonists who had been taken as slaves. Her ship's tractor. Being guided them safely aboard the Wanderer's Hope. Wise choice, she said. Now get out of my sight before I change my mind. The 2 surviving Korath ships limped away, their once proud hulls scarred and damaged. As they disappeared into hyperspace, Elena turned her attention to the asteroid field where the Velari research vessel was still hiding. This is Captain Rodriguez to the Harmony's Dream, she broadcast. You're safe now. The Korath have been driven off. Captain Voss and her crew emerged from the asteroid field, their ship intact, but their worldview forever changed. They had witnessed something that would become legend throughout the galaxy. A single human ship defeating an entire Korath fleet through superior tactics, technology, and sheer determination. Captain Rodriguez, Lyra said over the communication channel, I don't know how to thank you. You saved our lives. Just doing my job, Elena replied. The galaxy's a dangerous place, but it's a little safer now that bullies like Grokner know. There are consequences for their actions. As the 2 ships prepared to part ways, Dr. Thorne asked a question that would echo through the scientific community for years to come. Captain, how did you do it? How did 1 human ship defeat an entire Korath fleet? Elena smiled, the same calm expression she had worn throughout the battle. We humans have a saying. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. The Korath rely on fear and superior numbers. We rely on creativity, determination, and the refusal to accept that any situation is hopeless. She paused, looking out at the stars. The galaxy thinks humans are primitive because we don't have the most advanced technology or the largest fleets. But they're wrong. Our greatest strength isn't our weapons or our ships. It's our ability to see possibilities where others see only obstacles. It's our refusal to give up, even when the odds are impossible. The Wanderer's Hope disappeared into hyperspace, leaving the Velari crew to contemplate what they had witnessed. Word of the battle would spread throughout the galaxy, carried by traders, diplomats, and scientists. The story would grow in the telling, becoming legend. But the truth was even more remarkable than the legend. Humanity had announced its presence in the galaxy, not with conquest or domination, but with a simple message. Those who prey on the innocent will find that humans make very dangerous enemies, and those who need protection will find that humans make very loyal friends. The age of humanity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Asterisk.